Hey guys, welcome to Challenges Education. This is a lecture on basic numbers, and this is an introductory video so that you can get a overview of what numbers are and what we are going to do in our next lectures. Right. So here we begin with our first thing. Let me tell you what numbers are, guys. If you talk about numbers are of two types. Basic numbers are of two types. One is real number and second is complex number. Complex number. In this session, we are going to deal only and only with this type of numbers, which is called as real numbers, right? And let me give you an example. Complex numbers are those numbers which have a term that's called iota. You must have all of the students who are from non-medical background, they must have some studied complex number. That's called iota. You deal with iota in this complex numbers, and its numbered form is under root of -1. Like 2 iota will be equal to under root of -2, right? So that's not of in any kind of what do you say, it's not of any kind of usage for SSC or banking or any kind of competitive exam point of view, right? So we are only going to deal with real numbers. So what are real numbers? Real numbers are those numbers which are not complex. Any number which is not complex will be real number. Real number are of basically five types. First is natural number. Natural number. Second is whole number. Third is integers. Fourth is decimal. And fifth is fractions. Decimal and fraction. So let's start with what real natural number is. Okay, so natural numbers are numbers starting from 1 in positive number line. Like this is, if I say this is a number line, right, from minus infinity to 0 to plus infinity. Any number which lies from 1 to positive infinite side on the number line, that is called natural number, right? So if you talk about whole number, like you all know, we Indians have invented zero. So any number which starts from 0 to positive number line, 0 to infinity, 0 to infinity, that is called whole numbers. And integers have the longest number line from minus infinity to plus infinity, including all numbers. If you say -1, -2, -3, +5, 6, 7, 8, anything, any number except numbers which have 1.5 decimal and which are of 1 by 2 form or fractions, right? So these are called integers. All the numbers which lies in number line from minus infinity to infinity, but the decimal and fractions are not there, right? If we talk about decimal numbers are of two types. Decimal number of two types. First is reoccurring decimal. First is reoccurring decimal, and second is non-reoccurring decimal. First is reoccurring, decimal, and second is non-reoccurring decimal. Right? So now reoccurring are decimal are those numbers, like if we write 0.3333, we can say it is nothing but 0.3 bar. Any number which has 3 bar above it, that is called reoccurring decimal or repeating decimal. The number when numbers are repeated. Non-reoccurring decimal are like 0.543275,427. Now see, the numbers are not repeated here. So when the numbers are not repeated, you can say this is called non-repeating decimal, right? It is also called non-repeating decimal and repeating decimal. Now if we come about fractions are of two types. First is rational, and second is irrational. Second is irrational. Irrational. Now, and there are those numbers which are not rational, or we can say if any fraction satisfies are these two conditions. Quotient is non-repeating decimal. Quotient is non-repeating decimal, and fraction number is non-terminating. Now, what does this mean? Like if I say you what, let me give you an example for this number. If I say you irrational numbers are is pi is an irrational number. So if I say you ki let's do some check, like what is 22 by 7? This is equal to pi, right? So let's divide 22 by 7. 7 threes are 21. This is 1. Let's put a point, and this is 1 0. 7 ones are 7, 3 0. 7 fours are 28. This is 2 0. 7 twos are 14. This is 6 0. 7 eights are 56. 4 0. 7 fives are 35. This is 50. 7 sevens are 49. Here comes the remainder 1. Now you can see that this thing will be repeated from here onwards, right? Like we can say 22 by 7 is not the exact value of pi, it is the similar value of pi. 22 by 7. So for pi we can say it is nothing but 22 by 7, it is nothing but 3.142857 bar. So 22 by 7 has not fulfilled our condition to be an irrational number. But as 22 by 7 is the nearest or most approximate value of pi, hence pi is an irrational number, but 22 by 7 is a rational number. Okay, I hope this is clear that irrational number are those numbers which are non-terminating, like 22 by 7 is non-terminating, and whose quotient are non-repeating. Like here we can say the quotient is repeated after 3.142857. We will get 142857 again. Hence, 22 by 7 is not an irrational number, but pi being the closest number of pi is an irrational number, right? We take 22 by 7 only as it is the closest value of pi, right? So let's move to our next slide, which says definition of numbers. We have done whole numbers, we have done integers, we have done rational numbers, we have done. Now we are yet to do prime numbers and composite numbers. Now prime numbers are those numbers which have two factors, like one will be 1 and second will be number itself, right? These are the two factors of a prime number. First prime number is 2, and 2 is the first and only even prime number, and all the other prime numbers are odd, right? So let's move to the definition of composite numbers. What are composite numbers? We can say that all numbers which are not prime will be composite number, but except one. As you know, one has only one factor, that is 1, right? One factor. So 1 is not a prime number, right? And talking about composite numbers must have greater than two factors. Composite numbers must have greater than two factors, right? So any number which is not prime will be composite, but one is not that number, right? So next is odd number and even number. What are odd numbers and what are even numbers? Even number, there is very basic definition, like any number which is divisible by 2 will be even, and any number which is not divisible by 2 will be odd. These are the basic definition of even and odd number. Now let's move to the some other slide. Next slide says basic theory 2. Now we have to write a formula for summation of n natural numbers, summation of square of first n natural numbers, summation of cube of first n natural numbers, right? Let me give you an example of n natural numbers. Like we know, a natural number start from 1. So the number will be 1, 2, 3, 4 till n number of terms. So if I say you find the sum of first 50 natural numbers, 50 natural numbers, right? So what will you do? You will start adding 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. So if I say you sum of n natural numbers, summation of n is equal to 1 to n, this is equal to n into n plus 1 by 2. Like I said, you find the sum of first 50 natural numbers, then your n happens to be 50. You have to just do 50 into 50 plus 1 by 2. This is 25 into 51. This is equal to 1275. Right. I hope this is clear to you. Now, next is summation of square of n natural numbers. It is nothing but 1 square, 2 square, 3 square, 4 square, 5 square till n square. The formula is n into n plus 1 into 2n plus 1 divided by 6. Right? This is square of first n square natural numbers. Right? Next is summation of cube of first n natural numbers. The example is 1 cube, 2 cube, 3 cube, 4 cube, 5 cube till n cube. The formula is n into n plus 1 by 2 whole square. This is n into n plus 1 by 2 is for sum for basic sum for this is n natural numbers. Right. So what is cube of n natural number? That is n into n plus 1 by 2 whole square. Right. So let's move to the next slide, which says how many types of decimal, what is the concept of terminating and non-terminating decimal, how to convert decimal into fraction. So I told you there are two type of decimal, reoccurring and non-reoccurring decimal. What are terminating decimal and non-terminating decimal? If I say you 0.525, now terminating decimal are nothing but any number which gets divided. Like if I say you divide 4 by 5, what you will do, this is 0.0, this is 4 8s are 40, this is terminating decimal. The decimal has terminated at 0.8. Now if I say you non-terminating decimal, like if you divide 1 divided by 3, this will never end. If you do 0.33 is a 9, this is 1 0 3 3 is a 9 1 0, this will come again and again. So 0.33 is nothing but a non-terminating decimal. You can write 0.3 bar. Now the question comes how to convert decimal into fraction. So for any, like if we say 0.3 bar, this is a non-terminating decimal. For any kind of non-terminating decimal, the number of values which has bar over it, you have to write that number of 9 in the denominator, like 3 by 9. This will happen to be 1 by 3. Okay, so if the number was 0.43 bar, you had to write 43 upon 99. Right? Now if I say you to convert a terminating decimal, so we wrote 4 by that was 0.8. For any terminating decimal, you have to write 1 for decimal and 0 for the as much the numbers are. So this will convert to be 4 upon 5, like we divided 4 by 5 over here in the type of decimal. So I think this is how to convert decimal to fraction is also clear to you. Now, if you liked this video, you can call me at 9569702892. Thank you so much for watching this video. Have a good day.